Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. It is Wednesday, it is 4:30, we are halfway through the week, can you believe it? If you're new to the channel, my name is Luke, I'm the CEO of Sleeping Giant Media and Giant Campus, and we focus on getting relevant traffic to our clients' websites. So if you're on either Facebook or YouTube, do feel free to check out our content. We've got an awesome video series called Giant Wednesday with loads of kind of practical tips around digital marketing, which will hopefully be of use. I've got an amazing guest on the show today from Visit Kent, Deirdre Wells OBE. So we're going to be having a chat with her. Got some fun games the guys have set up for me as well, which I will clearly embarrass myself again with those. So let's do the intro and get the show underway. Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. So for those of you who are new to this show, this is all about trying to share some ideas. Obviously the world has gone a little bit crazy recently, so we wanted to put this show together, which we push out on a Wednesday afternoon and Friday afternoon with different guests to hopefully share some ideas, some inspiration, and hopefully make isolation feel a little bit less isolating. And hopefully things are starting to ease up. So as I said, I've got a fantastic guest on the show today, Deirdre Wells from Visit Kent, and we've been doing webinars this morning together. We're back again, and we wanted to hopefully just have a little chat, find out what Visit Kent has been up to. So welcome to the show, Deirdre.
Hi Luke, how are you? Good to see you again.
I know it's been what, like 6-7 hours since the last time.
I know, people are going to start talking. What can I say?
I know. So how are things going, Jenny? What's the sort of the mood? I've got some interesting words about your 3 words to describe how you're feeling right now. Do you want to kick off with those?
Oh, my 3 words,
Yeah.
and that was really mean. Anybody who's heard me talking knows that I'm pathologically incapable of doing anything in short sentences. So 3 words was a challenge. So I came up with busy, buzzing, and desperate. Desperate for a hairdo. I'm sure, like many of our viewers, although my husband and 2 sons have managed to purchase themselves a clippers with reasonable results. Yeah. Those of us who've got longer locks that take more love and attention I just can't wait for the hairdressers to open again.
You haven't braved handing over the controls to your husband to have a go at all? No.
I just think week 12 of lockdown, that's probably, very dangerous altogether.
It is. I think there's an increase.
The other 2, so probably. Busy. Yeah, we've been just flat out, really. So, obviously really difficult time for our industry. So, we've had to really switch what we were planning to do this year, which some of your viewers may remember was going to be all about Kenty 20 and renaming the year and having all our wonderful events. And sadly, a lot of them are no longer with us, but luckily have been postponed till next year. But mainly what we've been doing now is just really focusing on business support and really getting as much information to businesses as possible. And of course, all the government support has been moving quite quickly. So getting that out in time has been really, really critical. My other word was buzzing, because I think, we're quite excited about the fact that finally, I think we can see the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of our sector reopening. So some really exciting news already from some of our attractions that have opened their parks and gardens and seen really great demand. So I'm really hopeful that we're going to salvage something of this year.
Yeah. So what were the kind of, obviously, as you mentioned, the travel tourism sector kind of massively, impacted by all of this. What are the key concerns or key challenges that sector has been sort of facing over the last couple of months? Because it's been particularly tough in that sector.
Yeah, well, it was effectively like turning off the tap. It was. We've dealt with all sorts of challenges before, whether it's foot and mouth or terrorism or even SARS before, but it's never been this long, this deep, and this sudden, I suppose, in terms of suddenly, everything's shut. So, I mean, when you look at some of our barometer stats, already early March, businesses were down 75% in terms of spend and footfall, and by April it was, in the high 90s. So, the business came to a dead stop, and it came to a dead stop at the time when normally we'd be ramping up for the summer. A bit of a double whammy. And I think one of the real challenges is, most of our businesses are SMEs, so cash is a real struggle. And though things like the furlough scheme have been really valuable, I think because we're going to be last out of lockdown, basically, I think having enough support for businesses, not only to salvage something from the summer, but then go into the winter and manage through the winter in a seasonal industry is going to be challenging. So, my job is to keep lobbying government and make sure that they're listening to us and giving us some support.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like, particularly in the travel sector, it will rumble on for quite some time in terms of just trying to balance the books. Can you maybe give us some of the the good things? And I think there's a few businesses that that have been doing some really kind of exciting, interesting things to try to reduce that impact that's been felt over the last couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's been really, I suppose, heartwarming is, despite the fact that the industry's hit the biggest crisis it's ever had to face, what's fantastic about our industry and why we all love working in it is it's so innovative and so adaptable. So whether it's organisations that have been providing accommodation for frontline workers, or some of the fantastic virtual content, so was Turner Contemporary and Chatham Dockyard have been doing all sorts of fantastic online exhibitions, and some of our parks and gardens like Hever and Penshurst and castles like Dover Castle will be doing virtual tours, behind the scenes things, garden talks, and I think at the time when people are so hungry for new and interesting content, that's been really brilliant. And what's also great is, I don't think it'll stop, because, certainly everything we're seeing is that people are doing more and more searching and online. They're looking for more video content. I mean, you guys know this well and have helped us, to deliver loads of webinars on this subject. But I think some of the innovation, some of the curation that people have done over this period has been really well received, and I think will basically become a kind of an intrinsic part of people's marketing going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, so an interesting question in the chat there from Danny. So what are the positives for local tourism going forward? Will people see more of what's around them rather than travel abroad? Because I always found this quite interesting. I mean, back in the days, post-university, for me, I went traveling, and it was almost a thing that you would try to do if you could. But you travel halfway around the world, and you see these amazing sights, and then you come back, and I remember coming back to Kent, leaving with a kind of feeling of, it's all right. And then when I came back, finally seeing it almost with the same set of eyes that I'd just been, deploying in New Zealand and China and all those sorts of places, and going, what an incredible place that we live in. Do you think that's almost this kind of lack of ability to travel might hopefully encourage that local focus?
I hope so. I mean, I think there's a number of things there. I mean, firstly, I think there was already a bit of a shift towards a more sustainable, more carbon friendly way of traveling. And I think people were already thinking about, how many flights do I want to take, on holiday? I think also, whereas maybe generations before grew up going to their bucket and spade holiday at home, I think there are, several generations now for whom, holidays were always about getting on a plane and probably know their own backyard a little less. The other thing I think that's really come to the fore is that local produce, local food, local drink, of which obviously we've got lots in Kent.
Yeah.
And I think particularly people are looking for experiences. So whether it's a fantastic vineyard tour, or whether it's going to some of our gin distilleries, eating some wonderful, oysters or locally sourced food, all of that, I think, was already coming to the fore. The fact that I think in lockdown, many people started to use, local farm shops, local producers at a time when perhaps, they'd normally just, do an online grocery shop. I think it's helped people rediscover that.
Yeah.
Also, as people start to do their social distancing walks, that, getting out into the Kent countryside and discovering what's on their doorstep, I think is really coming to the fore. And what we've been trying to do as that very first baby steps out of lockdown started. So a few weeks ago, when we were suddenly allowed to go a little bit further than we had before. And we've been trying to encourage people to do precisely that. And we launched a campaign called Respect, Protect, Enjoy, which is the strapline for the Countryside Code.
Yeah.
But we kind of did a bit of a play on it to say, respect the environment, respect local communities, protect yourself by keeping 2 meters different distance, but most of all, enjoy yourself, because I think that re-engagement with nature and is really powerful. And I think people will be looking for that well-being experience for some time. So I'm hoping we're going to be able to capitalize on that a little bit on that for the good businesses of Kent.
Fingers crossed. So what we're going to do quickly now is we'll have as I said, a challenge. Every show the guys to put together a bit of a challenge. Normally that I lose this quite significantly. I've given you a bit of of an intro to this one. I quickly cut to here. So what we have, this is a challenge for both of us, by the way. So I'm going to be attempting this as well. We have to, we're going to be shown a jumble of letters, and we've got to try to make the longest word we can, but it has to start with L. Okay, that's so. And apparently, by the way, there is an 8-letter word that is possible. Okay, these are all based on 8-letter words. And again, chat, any questions that you have for Deirdre, please put them in there as we go. But also, if you'd like to get involved with this game, please do that. We're going to get 30 seconds to give this a go. I have a countdown timer sound ready also, so new tech as well.
But I'm going to disgrace myself.
No, it's fine.
And disgrace Kent.
It's not. Please don't put that much on it, because honestly, I'm going to be struggling with this. So we'll just do our best, okay? We'll try our best, okay? Right, hold on. Here we go. Start the timer. That is starting now. You can hear a bit of the sound coming through. Hold on. And we're going. Okay, right. Let's have a look at this one. I haven't got anything to write this down. That's the next problem I've got. I don't know where to write this down.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh dear. I don't know what I've got. That's a word. So I think I can come up with a 3-letter word at the moment. That's all I've got.
No.
I know. I did what? Look.
Language.
Oh goodness me, Amber in the chat.
Language.
And
yeah. Now, to be fair, I did say language before, Amber.
Okay. Yeah. So
I hope. Yes. I actually look. I can prove it. I've written it down.
Look at this. I should have came. Yeah. Okay. Right. Not that it's going to help me, but I pretend that's why I didn't do very well on that last one. I've got my self-assessment tax documentation in front of me that I can use as a scrap piece of paper, because no one really wants to see that. Right. Okay, on to, I think, well, yeah, you definitely got the longest word on that one. Let's have a look. There's a few people in chat as well. Well done, chat. You are on this one. Lisa, very good. Danny, Laguna. I was trying to go with that, but then I kind of just, I didn't even know if it was a word. But anyway, I believe it's a place, I think. But anyway, right, on to the next one. Start the countdown timer. We're moving.
Oh my God, there's another one. Okay.
There's another one. Hold on. There we go.
Oh crikey!
Yeah, this is.
Okay, yeah, I've got it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I'm with you. Oh no, maybe not.
Lollipop.
That's what I was going to go with as well. Let's stop the timer.
Yeah, right.
I was. I promise. Look, I started. Hang on, I've got to reveal that I don't reveal my tax codes or anything. But yeah, that's what I was 100% going to go with as well. So I think we've done Kent proud with that one. But I will still give you the win. Right, we're going to go. There is one more that we're going to have a go at. Okay, set the timer. And off we go. Last one. Okay.
It's still showing the last one.
Oh, is it? I think that's a different one, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, right.
That one.
Oh,
I've got a red
crikey.
squiggly on my screen as well because it's clearly not a word.
Crikey.
Okay, I've got a four.
Oh.
I've got a four-letter word. That's all I've
Yeah,
got.
I've got lame, which
I've
is
got
probably basically all my results.
Yeah, we'll call. I think we'll go with that. Let's see what chat are doing. I think they might have done a little bit better than us on that one. But yes, I think lame summarises my effort in that game. I think you are very much the winner of that one, Deirdre. So congratulations.
Right.
Yeah, you've done very well. And would you believe we have already reached the halfway mark? That's right. From Peep Show there today. So would you believe it? We are already halfway through this one. Alex got lemonade. That was I think that's what it was.
Good
That's
one.
what it was, wasn't it? That was the 8 letters that you scrambled. So yes, kind of. Okay, Alex has just told me he's cheating. Alex is in this ear telling me that he's cheating. So that's good to know. Good honesty, thank you, Alex. I think I'm going to call him producer Alex. It sounds cooler then. Feels like a proper show if I do that. So in terms of kind of the future for the travel sector, how do you think things are going to pan out? You mentioned almost like a kind of a potential hybrid approach. Almost there's a bit more content online as well as the kind of the physical things. How are for example, how are the virtual tours being received? How are they going down, and will they remain once people can do the actual physical trip itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think, there's always a slight worry that if you show people, if you do it too well virtually, then you think, well, why would they bother coming? But people seem to like that sort of sneak preview. I think the other thing that will be really important as places start to open is showing them how it's going to be different. Because it will be different, both in terms of, what the social distancing rules would be, what you can and can't do, what you can and can't access. So strong advice to anybody who's thinking about reopening is do as much as you can. And a bit of a shout out for Hever Castle, who did a fantastic sort of guide. And it's, I hope they won't mind me saying it's just using a phone. It's not terribly, flash, but it's really authentic. It's really genuine, and and it comes across really well. Yeah. And just, I think, provides a bit of reassurance for people. I think in terms of going forward, I think if you'd asked me this at the beginning of the pandemic, I think I would have predicted that we had what we normally have, which is a bit of a hockey stick recovery, which is what tends to happen after these events. But this, as I said, is longer and deeper than anything we've had before. So I think it will take a while. I think there's a definite opportunity for domestic, staycation trends to perhaps last for maybe this summer and into next. People will always want to go on holiday. It's what they want to do. I think in terms of it being a bit different, I think obviously self-catering, anything that can keep you in your bubble, I think is going to come back first. We would have been really pushing rail transport, I think, if, back to our sort of green agenda, which I mentioned earlier. I suspect that the car travel will stay for quite some time. Again, people feeling a little bit insecure about public transport, but we will need to brave that at some point. Yeah. And I think our job now is to really support customers, support consumers, and support the destinations right across Kent to be able to say, we can do this. I think one thing that is a real opportunity is the fact that a small silver lining from this awful cloud is the fact at least we're coming into the summer. So I think there's an opportunity, I think, almost to rethink our high street. So if we're ever going to have a chance to turn the great high streets of Kent into a beautiful Italian piazza, now's our moment, because I think being able to reclaim them, repedestrianize them, is the way we're going to be able to make them be able to manage the social distancing, but do it in a way that actually feels nice. It's what people want to do. They want to get back out and have a meal and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. That was almost like something that's missing from the UK culture. That sort of. I mean, I know we don't necessarily have the same climate, so it might be a little bit more spotty in terms of the warmth that we might kind of need for it to be there all year, and certainly for large parts of it. But I mean, it's such a nice thing to do.
We can't do it for the summer, at least. We should do. The other thing that's really great fun is the drive-through is back. So a number of places doing drive-through cinemas, drive-through theatres. It's going to be Greece all over again. I can't wait.
Well, we saw on the latest kind of update, and as we mentioned, there's likely to be an update. So by the end of the show, we'll find out actually what the specific details are. But there was an update around drive-in cinemas, but we were trying to work out where there is a drive-in cinema that we were aware of as well. So that was I think there's a few dotted around, but there's
So I think Hever are looking at it. I think Penshurst are looking at it. Watch this space. We'll be able to send out some stuff. I think the Dockyard might also be thinking about it too. So it's definitely happening.
Anything that's added to the list, I suspect people are now thinking about as soon as there's.
Well, we'll have it on our website. We're going to have a What's Open
awesome.
Page. So anybody who's listening, if they want to, if they're losing track of what's open, what's not, we'll make sure that we keep that up to date.
Fantastic. Yeah, guys, if one of the guys in chat could put that in there, that would be really useful just to kind of share with anybody else that's listening in there. One of the interesting things, so I noticed Molly in the chat from the Kent and Victor Chamber. So I've been doing some virtual networking events with those guys. And the interesting thing is that as a format, I think we're all fairly skeptical about how that might work, but it's actually been working really well. So that actually, going forward, I think that might be a trend that stays as well. And I wonder actually, again, in the travel and tourism space, there might be certain habits that are forming now that, although they're kind of done because we've had to do them, actually there might be a benefit to have them or stay in part as we kind of go through in some of those virtual tours. Because as you said, they're so authentic, they're so kind of genuine that there might be something that almost enhances the overall experience.
Absolutely. And the other thing I think is just how we work. I mean, in my job, the best bit is going out and seeing our attractions and our businesses on site. But we also spend a lot of time, in meetings with, other public sector stakeholders. And really funny, we have the LEP has a rural economy group, which basically spends most of its time talking about sustainability. And we drive from Kent and Essex and Sussex to this thing. And we've had 2 very successful board meetings now. And we were kind of thinking, why haven't we done this before? And I do hope that sort of, those sort of meetings where the default setting will be, well, actually, do you need to get in your car and do you need to travel for this meeting? Or can we do, and I think we've all got a lot. It all felt a bit weird and awkward at the beginning, but we've all got a lot better, I think, at networking.
Agreed.
And discussing and collaborating online. So I would like that to be the default, and for us to save the precious drive time for going and seeing and collaborating where we can't do it virtually.
Yeah, I mean, even if you swap the drive time for work for drive time to do something in the countryside, that'd be a massive kind of
absolutely
as well.
Yeah.
So just moving on to, I just wanted to kind of move into another screen here. Now I've got a few videos to run to sort of move into kind of what's going on in your world in lockdown. These are from TikTok. Are you doing any of these sorts of things?
I'm waiting for the dance.
Yeah. So that's one thing that's going on. We've got this look back, so looking back of what's happened in 2020. What on earth was going on? Apparently, this is the dance that we were all doing in 2020. That is an option. And this one, my particular favourite, someone just the pranks
Mom,
that are
quick,
happening.
there's water running down the stairs. Quick! Yes, water.
So how
we did do well, actually it wasn't so much I delegated this. So we have a family, like many people, we've got a family WhatsApp group, and somebody started the shared, and a very old grumpy Irish father and his teenage son trying to do that, that dabbing dance.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing. So then my husband decided to recreate. So the guy's in his dressing gown, sort of looking very disheveled. So my husband then decided to recreate this with my son. So that's gone a bit viral in the family chat. I have restricted myself to higher matters. So we've done doing a quiz,
Nice.
but I've also been doing my choir virtually.
Oh, awesome.
So.
And how's that going?
Yeah, we're actually better than I expected, although you might want to ask the neighbours. So me belting out Fouray's Requiem at the top of my voice last night was probably not what they wanted to hear, but I enjoyed myself, so I don't care.
Deirdre, why did we not know this before? There feels like there was a singing competition there. We felt like I've done a voiceover competition.
I would have whooped your ass on that as well, I think, as well, Luke.
You absolutely would have done, but I'm always game. I'm always up for a try. So now we know. Next one we're gonna do. I wanted to do redo the lyrics to A Whole New World from Aladdin. I feel like that's, as we go into the whole new world, there's an option to kind of rework those lyrics and deliver.
Absolutely.
So as soon as I get that, maybe there's a duet. Perhaps we can potentially kind of work on there. So producer Alex, I'm going to have to hang up on you a second because I need the phone for the next section. So bear with me 1 second. So Deirdre, there's a final game that we're going to do because we're nearly out of time and I can't believe it. But what we do every week is we do a game where you could win a limited edition Sleeping Giant Media Cup. Yes, very exciting.
Wow,
I know.
That's a top prize.
It is a top prize.
No expense spared.
None at all. Well, a couple of quid, but it's all it's great. Hang on a second, I'm just checking the leaderboard. I forgot to update this one, I'm sorry, but I do think the top score is still 4. Okay, so we have to beat 4 now. This is a game, if you haven't played it, it's very cool, and it is okay. Well, it is essentially charades. That is basically the kind of premise of it, but you have to explain it. So rather than acting it, you have to explain it. And the topic for this month is blockbuster movies. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to hold up my screen, this on the here. You'll be able to see the name of the film, and then you have to try to explain it to me. Okay, and if we can beat 4, you go top of that leaderboard. Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. It's a team game. Team game. Here we go. Are we ready? Let's go. Blockbuster movies. Okay.
So it is involves lots of small vessels, small boats. Big movie about the war.
Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Yes, we're on. Let's go.
So it's a trilogy, or maybe not a trilogy. It's more than that. No, it's science, sci-fi. Use the Force.
Oh yeah, sorry? Star Wars.
Yes, but which one was it? The very final.
Return of the Jedi.
No, it's a Jedi, but it's the one that isn't
the newest one.
The first one.
The Last Jedi.
There we are.
Uh-oh.
Little elephant with huge ears.
Dumbo.
Yep. The plane. Oh!
I'll tell you what, they were tricky ones. For Star Wars, you think, I got Star Wars, but to have to get The Last Jedi as well, that was tough. So I think that was a total of 3.
Well, the problem is, I have to, in my defense, and you probably, listeners, I'm not normally this hesitant, but we play this game all the time at Christmas, but you're not allowed to use any proper nouns.
Oh.
So I was probably on to question 2 before I realised I could say more than I could.
So you've made the game harder for yourselves.
Yeah.
Wow.
So your leaderboard person, I'll challenge him to see if he can get 4 if you do it with no proper nouns.
That is a challenge. Good effort. Very well done. But again, thank you very much for. I can't believe where the time has gone. It's been fantastic, and
that's been the best fun I've had all Zoom.
Oh, good. I'm pleased.
Lockdown.
I'm very, very pleased, and thank you very much for coming on and for all the insights and for the shout outs as well. So it's great to hear the positivity. I know it's a really challenging time for the sector, but great to hear that business is still adapting and doing a lot more. So thanks very much.
Brilliant. Good to see you, Luke.
Thanks very much. Take
care, everybody.
On a Zoom chat very, very soon. So guys, we are going to be back again on Friday at 4:30. We have Pip Lawrence from the Wellbeing People. Pip did a session for us this week with our team, looking at kind of mental strength and well-being, which is fantastic. So we're going to get her on the show and quiz her on some of those the key messages and ideas that she can be sharing. So if you're around Friday 4:30, please do join in and get involved with the chat. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it's been of use. And again, see you on Friday. Thanks very much.